Hello, welcome back to Natty Void Nation. Today we're watching episode 1175 of One Piece. Uh, last episode was basically all like anime original stuff. I don't think we actually developed any more of the manga material. Cause like last episode we just really saw Elbaf fighting to protect their homeland, which we don't really get to see most of the Elfbar warriors fight. Especially, I'm 100% certain we don't get an entire chapter dedicated to them defending the land. That being said, last episode ended with reinforcement of Copacabana joining the front lines, plus Dory Broadkey also joining the front line. They did I always forget what the move called, but they did that move that they did back in Little Garden to help the Straw Hats. Took down 3 of the Nightmare Dream ghosts that Killingan had created. But yeah, with that being said, we did really get a lot of manga material, so I'm wondering if this episode we're gonna dive into the flashback with Harold, what actually happened and how Harold actually died. I also do know that there's gonna be 2 new One Piece movies. I think it's like Bad, One Piece Bad or something like that, coming out to 2029. And then the one that coming out is like 2027. It got God Valley, which makes me wonder whether that movie's going to be canon. It could be canon. It could follow the chapter of God Valley incident in the manga, which, if that is the case, it probably means that it's very unlikely that we're going to get the God Valley incident in this season, which I assumed we were going to get. But if they're going to do a movie about it, we get to see Rocks, Gold Roger, and what happened on God Valley, then maybe we'll only do part of Harold's flashback, and then the God Valley incident will be the movie, and then we will come back to Elbaf in like the next season, because One Piece is seasonal now. I don't know if that God Valley incident is just another storyline at God Valley, or is it actually following the manga storyline at God Valley, where we see Gold Rogers and what happened at God Valley with Rocks, Gold Rogers, Gab, and all the people that were involved? I don't actually know. I don't really have any information on what it is. But if it got God Valley, I'm assuming it's gonna be canon. I'm assuming it's gonna follow the manga storyline, which means that this season of One Piece is probably not gonna cover all of the flashback of Harold, because in the manga, that's where the God Valley incident takes place, in the flashback of Harold. But I am wondering whether they're gonna do the entire flashback, skip the God Valley incident, and then finish off the flashback in the season, and then the movie will cover what happened in the God Valley incident. I don't think that's the case, because it'd be a pretty weird, because there would just be a random gap in the story if you do it that way. So I feel like what's more likely to happen, it goes up to like us meeting the Rocks pirates, and then that's why this season ends, and then the God Valley movie takes place from the Rocks pirates being introduced all the way up to the end of the God Valley incident, and then season 2 of the Elfbar arc will be like the finished conclusion. Will start with the conclusion to the Harold flashback. If they are making the God Valley movie canon, if they're not making the God Valley movie canon, then we will definitely get the God Valley incident in this season. But with that being said, let's watch this episode of One Piece I see whether they are gonna still deal with some holiness at the Elbaf, still trying to defend the homeland, or if we're gonna actually start diving into the flashback of Harold. Let's start. This is gonna be cool to see. What the? What kind of power is that? Like, this is cool. You know, I really love this because we get to see the new Chai Warrior cook in action, which I wanted to see more of the. Oh damn, that's so cool, so cool. But yeah, I'm glad we get to see more of I forgot the cook's name, but him in action.
こいつどういう仕組みなんだ？悪魔の実か？
それはオイラの父ちゃんがビッグマム討伐に行った時に引き込まれちゃったんですよ。
That's a dope law. I don't think we've ever heard of this.
大方海外で暴れてた時期に恨みでも買ったんだろ。バカ言え。
Damn. Harold, then you got to give your brother a chance.
俺はもう世界の王になってる。
Not with that attitude.
世界政府の
ヘボコックにはサポート役がお似合いだから
な。なんだとマリモブロッコリ
ー。やるか眉毛くるくる。
かわいい。いやいや。飯まだか。
そろそろいいでしょね。
So who's got the patch? Luffy's gonna take the biggest one. Oh, I was wrong. Haha!
傷が開いちゃう。
殺す気かてめえ。
決まったか。スープあったぞ。待ってろ。
Oh no, this is gonna go bad.
おい、グツグツ言ってんぞ。
Nah. I go. No. Rest in peace, Loki.
何や鏡に会いてえとはガキの頃はあった海賊に憧れる気持ちはまあわかる。
I like that because they're talking about two different people.
てめえがまだガキだったことが。
Are we gonna see him? Are we gonna see Rox?
ああ頼むよ。連れてってくれよ。
俺はおめえみてえなガキに会いに来たんじゃんねえ。
Silhouette Kun is at it again. Damn, Rox did not go easy on a kid.
相手に刃物はねえだろ。黙れニューゲート。れてくる時代を間違えた。
I hope these guys were down for the count. I'm glad that they're getting a second go to redeem themselves. See, I think this is anime only stuff because I think there was only one of each. I don't think there were multiple of the same creature. That's a nice wallpaper shot. Oh, damn, this is a nice shot.
やはり増えたな。3つ。隠しきれねえ異常な声が伝わってくる。エルバフが安全じゃなくなった。
Oh, that is such a feat of hockey. There they are. Damn, Colin got good eyes.
みんな
I'm not going to lie, these guys suck.
友らが炎に到達してしまうだよ。最大水圧で放水じゃ。バルブは限界だ。消えてくれ。消防隊頑張るでよ。
Damn, that was a nice bit of facial expression there.
なんて愉快な光景だ。
Has somebody bunched this guy already?
ガキども起きるのか。ボダイどうした。消えてねえぞ。
Scoba, you could probably split the flames in half. That's another great shot. I do love some of the shots in this episode. That's another great shot. That Jinbei getting a cool moment is dope. And the water looks so beautiful. Jinbei did the work of 3 of you. Jinbei! Jinbei! Jinbei!
よし終わりじゃ。間に合うたか。
Yeah, you saved them for now.
おたちは無事だね。
I mean, I wouldn't say they're okay. They're just not being hurt by the fire. They're still marching to the depths.
真に出たぜ。よくやった消防隊。エルバフの守り神。
Nah!
違うんだよ。
I'm glad they're not gonna take credit for what Jinbei did. Otherwise, I would have some stronger words.
学校のやつらに嫌われてるけどあいつらのこと友達だと思ってんだ
That's cool. That's a cool mindset to have.
必ず助けましょう人にもいたのか
Oh, this is gonna be so dope.
生きのいい子供
Oh, they're just teasing us. I don't think there'll be an end credit scene, but I'll check it out. Yeah, just preview. This episode was pretty cool. We basically took care of the fire problem, which thankfully we had Jinbei, because Jinbei got to have a cool moment, put out the fire, and the kids, well, they're not, I wouldn't say they're safe. They're still moving into danger by the Holy Knight getting captured. They're just not gonna die from the fire. Which also, listen, those fire alpha cat, I know the anime original, but they suck. They suck so bad. Like we've only seen them twice, and both times they have done nothing. wasted the time on screen. At least last episode there was a guy who at least tried to shoot an arrow at someone, and even though it didn't affect, at least he was in the fight. Those guys just got knocked off immediately. Those fire unit people, I don't really need to see ever again. They're not showing Elbaf in the great light. But that being said, it did allow Jinbei to shine and save the kids. But now they got another problem because Genko has sort of found Colin outside of school and decided, oh, I'm gonna target you as well. So now the remaining Straw Hats will have to protect Colin. But also the first half of this episode is literally some funny, I think a lot of that is anime exclusive stuff of like them eating food. I know for the fact that I still forget the chef's name for the giant cook. His fight with like, and I'm pretty sure we never learned that like his shield was made by Big Mom. Became alive because of Big Mom's power, because that's really dope to see. And with the little fight between him, Zoro, Sanji against that dinosaur was really fun to see. And then them eating around and Luffy just causing chaos to try to help Loki, but ends up just hurting him even more. It's just really funny. Classic Luffy. But yeah, that was a really fun moment. And to be fair, I know they're going pretty slowly with the chapters per episode. I don't even know if they covered one full chapter this episode. They might have only covered half. The Jinbei stuff with Saving the Kids, I'm pretty sure that was in the manga chapter. But the Luffy stuff with Loki eating the food, I'm pretty sure that wasn't there. That being said, I do not mind it. There's them creating slow pacing if they're doing anime original content. Like the first half is like anime original, so it sort of like explores the world more. The lore about the giant cook shield is really cool. A lore detail that dropped, and that's really interesting. If you're giving me more anime exclusive stuff like that, I'll be okay with that. Because before, the issue I had with One Piece before they did the break at gone seasonal is a lot of the times, and it still does happen in this new season. However, it happens a lot less, which I'm thankful of. Is there was too many times where people would just be staring or nothing going on, and it just them about to do attack, but it's like a minute on screen before someone throws the punch. That's sort of slowly getting rid of. It's just being replaced by more anime original content, which I'm fine with. Like, I would rather have that than going back to that stare downs, the long walking, the just one shot just staying on screen for a bit too long. That being said, I really enjoyed this episode. Again, never much happened because all that really happened was we solved the fire crisis, but other than that, the problem is still going on. The children are still being captured. Ginkgo is now threatening Colin, so now we got the Straw Hats trying to protect Colin, and we also have to realize that we haven't got the monster trio, so we basically got Jinbei the strongest, and he's probably going to have to lead everyone to protecting Colin. That being said, I don't know who would actually be considered a leader, because normally when Luffy is at that, Sanji takes the leadership role, and then sometimes Zoro. Zoro takes the leadership role, I'd say, more in terms of battle, but in terms of just the crew, normally Sanji takes that role if Luffy isn't there. That being said, so I'm assuming Jinbei is going to try and take that role of leading everyone. He does have the best leadership skill, considering he was also like a mentor to Luffy as well. That being said, I got right to watch the next episode. I'm wondering if I think we're gonna just. I think what will happen is we're gonna target Cullen. That's gonna happen first, and then either 2 episodes or 3 episodes from now, we're gonna start the flashback. Again, I don't think we're gonna finish the flashback. I think we're gonna stop the flashback once we meet the Rocks Pirates. Once we meet the Rocks Pirates, I think that's it for the season. And then the movie's gonna come out and deal with the God Valley incident. And then we're gonna finish the flashback when the second half of the season drops. But with that being said, see you guys next time. Bye.